Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Oafdiscussions. I am your host, Kid Swift. With me, as always, it's Mr. Brent.
How y'all doing?
Shayna.
Hello, hello.
Mr. Webb back with us again. And Brent, would you like to do the honors of introducing our special guest?
I will. By way of the hot and sunny, everything's bigger than Texas, Miss Eboni, the host and creator of Room for Relations. How you doing today?
Hi. I'm awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome. Thanks for coming to our weird...
Thanks for logging in,
thanks for coming and logging into our weird new setup. Everybody who's watching back at home, thank you guys for joining us. As you can see, we kind of finally got things together, I guess. In a way. We'll see if it comes together. But we got our drinks.
As you can hear,
you're probably just going to hear like 90 minutes
everywhere.
of just straight ice clanking. So if that happens, whatever, it's fine.
That's for you.
Cheers to you.
That's for you.
Yeah, right. So we've got some topics that we actually left out of last week's episode that we wanted to get back into, including, we'll start off with this one.
Where would you like to go?
Because I kind of like, because it would almost make sense for this one to be at the end, but I like starting off with this because it was almost where we ended last time.
True.
So we spent the time today. I got up early, tried to get this thing set up. Webb came, helped me get it set up and troubleshooted. Brent obviously has the recording on the laptop going. He figured that out. We've got a TV off to the side for our new show that we're going to start after this. So the question is, why the hell did we start doing this in the first place? And why do we choose every week to spend an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours with random people? And I want to start with our guest. I'm going to let you go first because I think it's an interesting question. I don't think a lot of people do that, and I don't think a lot of people would take the time or want to take the time, besides just maybe behind a keyboard, to share anything with random people. But what do you think? Seriously. Are we recording too? Yeah, we're recording.
Everything. Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
We just realized we're recording video. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hey.
My bad. I was trying to set up Facebook Live so that we could.
Oh, you're good. And we're recording on this too, so we got multiple things. Yeah, we're good.
Y'all are all over the place.
I know. Yeah. Welcome. Yeah.
To OAF.
Yeah, welcome to us all over the place. Yeah, that's what it should have been called. Is all over the place.
All over the place.
With the living single intro, and then the all over the place. Yeah, we might do that.
Backdrop. We got a green screen.
I know we got the green screen. We can just put ourselves in the corner.
Old school choreography.
Yeah. Shayna can do the choreography. We're good. But why do we create? Why do you create?
So for me, this whole thing, especially podcasting, is something I've always been into. My dad, when I was younger, always listened to talk radio. I knew who Rush Limbaugh was when I was way too young. So I've always been interested in like talk radio and that type of stuff. And so when I discovered podcasts, I was like, that seems like something cool. And then like with my friends, I would always say like, we should do something together. We should be, we have like the most random conversations. We talk about just any topic and just end up cracking up for like 2-3 hours straight. And I was like, we should do this. And I used to like secretly record them. It wasn't really secret. Like they knew I was recording them.
I like that. That's messed up. Stealth podcast. I like that.
That's how you get jammed up for real.
I like the stealth podcast. I like that.
You know what you said yesterday?
Conversations were so good, and I was like, we have to do something with this. And so then I was just like, we're gonna do a podcast. Like I basically just told them they were gonna be on my podcast, and so they've all been cool about it. But I enjoy the topics we talk about. I do my show especially because I want to make like sex and relationships less taboo, and to be able to talk about having these conversations with friends where it's kind of normalized. And although we try not to make fun of certain things, we still want to be able to laugh and talk about it and not have it be such like an uptight topic. Right. So that's the reason why we do the show.
Nice.
Just to kind of give people a little background for you, how long have you been podcasting or running the show?
We are at 2 years and like 4 months. We started January 7th, 2015.
Nice. It's almost like
I can't figure it out.
I can't remember our exact date that we started, but it was like oh my God!
How could you forget?
like a bad marriage.
Like a bad
It's like a bad marriage.
It was like October. I think it was the fall, wasn't it? It was the fall.
It sounds about right. Yeah, because that was around the.
Huh?
Doesn't even remember the month.
It was.
I can't remember.
I mean, when's the anniversary?
It's logged somewhere.
Yeah, it's online, so somebody could literally go from right now, log in. Okay, here it is.
Please don't ever use that as your excuse.
What?
If you get jammed up in your relationship. It's logged somewhere. I mean, there's a gift somewhere out
online.
there. But it's
I posted
dated.
in a relationship.
Right.
It should show up at some point. There's an on this day waiting.
Yeah. In 10
10
years or 3 years, you'll see that post again. So.
Is it bad that I use that?
Did y'all start with the
No,
YouTube?
that is
So I
horrible.
started with YouTube videos.
Yeah, we started off. Me and Webb started out doing YouTube videos focusing on specifically mainly nerd culture.
Yeah, audio first.
Audio first. Yeah, audio first. But we put up like pictures. Yeah. And then I kind of did this makeshift thing in my basement, kind of similar to what we have now, except we had this giant desk, which is, I'm looking at it, and then we hung up a bunch of like video game posters behind us, and we did it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It had the Mama Said Knock You Out microphone from the ceiling, too. I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but that's probably one of the biggest things I remember. I walked in.
Comeback.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
Okay, that works.
Don't call it a comeback.
But yeah, we started off with that.
Been here for years.
Went to video, and then just and then kind of went back, and then just did audio. Then that was when kind of took it to Louisville, and started doing it with Webb. I mean, with Jacob.
Webb.
So with Webb and Brent.
Webb's over there. I'm also not
with
Jacob.
Brent and Jacob, our friend in Louisville, and then we kind of just went from there. And then Shayna came on because Brent was like, "Hey,
we need another power.
we need another power.
All right.
We need a power move." So we made a trade. Kind of. We want Jacob back.
Wow.
Jacob left. Jacob retired like Marshawn Lynch, and then we got Shayna. We brought in Shayna.
With a loss?
Not really.
God, your segues are terrible. But
That wasn't even a segue though.
But what made you want to create?
Oh man, it's similar to what you said as far as along the lines of when me and Webb, we kind of went from this way where we did Country Noise, which was our band. We did that for
5 to 7 years.
5 to 7 years. We were in that band.
So much history right there.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
Because it started out, it wasn't a band to begin with.
Yeah,
Because it started out as just 3 people, like 2 producers, 1 MC, and then just kind of escalated to where everyone was producing, everyone was MCing.
Yep,
And then it got to the point where it's like, let's start bringing some live instrumentation into it, and that's how we came about the band, and that was there for a good couple years before everybody kind of went their own way.
Yeah, and then the whole thing with OAF was we kind of looked at music essentially at first like, why is it that when somebody is outside of the music industry and like let's say I don't like a certain artist, why is it that I can just be like, I don't like that motherfucker, I don't want to listen to him, screw him, and nobody pretty much bats an eye at it. But then if you are, let's say if I'm Chance the Rapper and I don't like Kendrick Lamar, if I say that, everybody's going to be like, oh my God, like they're fighting and everything. So we kind of took it and we just took that exact ideology and was like, only as a fan, these are our opinions. These are the things that we thought about. And then it came the same way, like you said, where we always sit down when we were creating music or when we were together, we were just having these random ass conversations, usually about nerd culture stuff. And then we turned that into a show. And we were like, well, why don't we record this? Because we weren't doing the music as extensively anymore. It wasn't nothing against it or nothing like that. It was just people went their separate ways. So we was like, well, we still want to do something creative together. And that's how we ended up that's how we ended up at the podcast. Which I think it just comes from that mindset of we kind of always have to or need to be creating something. Yeah. We're just those type of people, which I think there is a clear distinction between certain types of people where some people are just like, I can just consume music, movies, whatever, or I want to create movies, music, whatever, and kind of like go about it that way and create those things and figure out those things for myself. And that's kind of always been where I've been at, is just like, I'll listen to some music, I'm like, man, I would love to do this. Or I've watched a movie and I'm like, I can't watch it without seeing shots and and locations and framing and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, god dang it. But yeah, that's the interesting thing about it. But on the web, do you have, as far as anything different? Yeah, right.
As far as only as a fan, that's exactly how we approach the podcast. Is that we are people that have an idea of what things go as far as music or as far as filming, or in this case, film. So we kind of have critiques on it as far as a technical standpoint, but there's also things as ideas or opinions on it as a consumer, and we just wanted to air that out and go from there. If we wanted to go even deeper than that as far as why we create, we can even sit there and go back as far as country noise or being on the mic and having to expressing ourselves from there. I like to create simply for the fact that it's an outlet. It's something that I have. It's like I can't express some of these opinions with coworkers. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to be expressing some of these opinions with coworkers.
Right.
Yeah, at the same time, it's just like being on stage, as an example. Like being on stage and being able to sit there and just showcase what has been on your mind or what your thoughts and opinions are on things in music form, and sometimes sitting there getting people to rock with it and just, showing another side of yourself to complete strangers. That, from a selfish standpoint, yeah, I loved having that type of outlet.
Yeah, it was good feeling.
Being able to, that's what I created for. It's simply to sit there and let off some steam and have folks get an idea of as far as who I am in ways that I wouldn't be able to express by a regular conversation.
Yeah.
Right. So
now, as far as Shayna, when Brent kind of was like, "Hey, Shayna wants to be on the podcast," Shayna said she likes whatever she wants to be on the
Whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Why? What made you?
that was way more cute.
I'm sorry. That didn't sound right. But
why?
Because here's the thing. Let's say pick somebody else in your mind. Go to them with the same exact thing that you went to Shayna with. Mm-hmm. Would their answer be the same? Would they be sitting here with us today and be a member of this goofy outfit that we have? And that's why I asked Shayna, what made you want to share your stories and with us, with everybody else?
Well, I've always been into creating. Again, from a small age, I was kind of a weird kid, so I'm always into creating. I want to do stuff. I've had a little tiny camera, and I would just love taking pictures. And that grew into when we got a camcorder. I used to take videos. Me and my brother, rainy days, would just make videos of each other dancing around the house and making remixes to music and him rapping and just all that stuff. I loved writing, so I started writing as I got older. And then I was performing. I did theater. So in every way of being creative, I was enamored with it, and I would at least give it a shot.
Right.
And then getting older, I've lived a lot of lives, watched a lot of people live a lot of lives in my short years. So I'm the type, I want people to learn from my mistakes, and I learn from others' mistakes. Mm-hmm. So I just like to share my stories, no matter what they are. Right. I just want to talk about it. And I'm a nerd. I love culture. I love consuming music. I love consuming movies, video games. My free time, that's all I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about it. I want to talk about it. I don't have conversations day to day anyway. So I look forward to when we get together as a group and talk. And with Brent, when he brought it to me, that's what my favorite part of the day was. He would come by my desk and we would just shoot the shit and talk about whatever's out, whatever's cool.
Right.
So that's how I guess he wanted me on the show, because we would just talk so much about Walking Dead or whatever video game it was. So it's just a good time. I look forward to it.
Yeah. So what about you, brother? Because now this is kind of sharing, but me and him have had many kind of like, I guess you could say adventures. With like creating music as well, same thing.
I thought this was going to Charlie Murphy route.
I was a little nervous.
He would sit there and just cross the line a little bit, and I'd have to,
check it.
That's me and Jacob. That's me and Jacob. That's actually how our friendship works.
But as far as like along the line, I mean, doing like music stuff, doing like DJ stuff, like we've done weddings, we've DJ'd weddings.
Yes.
Like
we even made music.
Yeah, exactly. We made music. So how did we end up at this point? Where we get to laugh with all these good.
You gave everybody else the simple questions.
I did the same thing. Yours was actually shorter.
Here? No, it's not.
I wanted to vary it up, make it different.
I'm gonna be. I think Ebony, you hit the nail on the head for me when you said I get to this started for me as getting to hang out with close friends or new friends, people that I like, you know, the content they do or just their vibes, things like that. That's how. It's all right. It's all right. Another drink and
It's
probably be something else.
It's a vibe.
You know what I'm saying?
That works.
But so when we first, like when we actually got to hang out, and this is even be for me and you and you know Webb, all of us, even in high school, or at the last birthday party where we're just sitting at the table and we came up with clap clap clap, get money,
Yeah.
like those inside jokes that you always have with just like your friends, or you know you have those moments where 4 months later you're still somebody will say a phrase and it'll spark everything all over again.
Right.
That's what kind of podcasting is for me. It's like having a continuous inside joke, like a reason to make these moments, and share these moments. So we didn't secretly record each other, because
Don't judge me.
I mean, because you've heard me beforehand before we hit the record button. I'm a little I might say some things.
Right.
I might say some things while we on here, but that's here nor there.
Okay. Well, it'll be here when you actually...
But it'll be there. That's the problem. Like, you know,
It can be both. That's the problem. That it can be either
here
one.
or there.
I can't control that. I can control here, but if it goes over there, I need you to come sit your ass down.
And I'm starting to get like new Twitter followers, and they're like,
Right.
"Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Where'd you come from?" Like, I want to know how you found
Please
me.
announce yourself.
Yeah, like, are you a friend?
Put the podcast hashtag. Put both hashtag first
Did
before
Ebony
anything
send
else.
you? Like, what happened? What happened? But
Oh God.
But our, like, just hearing the history, it sounds like me and you have definitely shared some adventures in, like, any day we could have a conversation like a podcast. And I think what really happened was when we was bringing it back was when y'all let me join in, actually. It was... kind of took it over for a little bit.
You kind of sound like you took a little personal for a second there.
What?
When y'all finally let me in, you know.
Oh, no. So keep this.
And I just decided to go ahead and just take over.
We gonna sidebar. All right, so I told Gary when y'all was recording, I was like, man, I want to come up here. I want to do the, at least be in the show,
And
or
I told
like.
you to come up here.
That's what he said. For like it was like 5 months. I'd be in town. And he'll be like, oh yeah, we recorded a few minutes ago. Why didn't you tell me that when I'm going back? You could have literally told me that then, and I was 10 minutes away. So it wasn't on you, Webb.
We don't
That was all
have the
Gary.
tools at our
It's
disposal
never
that
on
we
me.
have
It's always
now.
on- It's always on
It's
Gary.
definitely on
It's
Gary.
always on Gary.
But
Why is it on me?
I actually don't know how the friendship lasted this long. Like, how did we get here? By prayer and video games alone.
Yep. God.
You better thank him.
Right? Yeah.
You better thank him. All right.
You better ask
But
somebody.
but when I approached like Shayna, me and her definitely had these conversations, and I'm pretty sure she thought I was just like some random person. Especially probably the first couple times, because I'll talk about practically anything. And
Yeah, I still don't, to this day, don't know exactly how we started talking to each other. Like, period. I don't know how this
the
happened.
first-
do you really want to know?
Sure.
You don't want to know.
When you asked it that way, I was like, do I?
No.
Easy now. She's still recording.
Right.
Our guest is still recording.
All right, my bad. But let's sum this up. Let's sum this up. Another podcast day. For that one. Another podcast day. We already said this. So, what's the next question?
Normally I can set myself up and segue out of that.
It threw me off.
You
I wasn't
can't-
prepared for that.
You can't throw me. It'd be like you took the steering
All right,
wheel
my
off and
bad,
threw
my
it to
bad,
me before
My bad.
halfway down the highway.
The one big thing is the group's ability to create. So, like, right now we're set up with green screens behind us, things like that. So, I'm a person who likes to see steel keep sharpening steel. It helps bring out my creative side to see other people passionate about something. Podcasting for me is probably one of the biggest outlets besides sports. And I needed something less contact, because sports is kind of
Like too old.
yeah, I'm getting too old. Like
that
I
is true.
can't fight everything
Yeah.
as much, and now I'm more like witty and intellectual, and like I want to do stuff that's not combat.
The only combat or contact you might receive is verbal.
I'm sorry. Sports to me is kind of
I
like
wonder what kind of sports were you doing? My goodness.
basketball, football,
Oh, okay.
We foul hard.
Okay.
real hard.
Right, yeah.
Golf, you know what I'm saying? You know,
Chasing somebody with a club.
you never know.
That's all I see is a
you never
caddy
know
just
when
chasing somebody with a
when you
club.
need to get the club out and fight off an alligator. Like I'm just saying, you
man.
just never know.
A lot of work.
It's a lot of work. So that's how I feel like we definitely got here.
Yeah.
It's been a great group.
See, it wasn't that hard of a question.
I was looking for even, I guess it would be the 6th member of the group. Since we kind of needed someone to fill in the void again, to bring a little spice to the show.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how Ebony found us. Found us. How'd you find the podcast?
Probably podcast in color. That's probably how I found like a lot of podcasts. Once I discovered that list, I was like, oh my God, there's so many black podcasters. And so then I just started going down the list,
Yeah.
adding people and things like that. So yeah.
Nice. Well, with that said, time to move on to some weird shit.
How weird you want to get?
I mean, as weird as we can get in this current day and age.
That's dangerous.
Sex robots.
Sex robots. All right.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. So we started this.
Oh, thank God, it's just sex.
That's what we'll be saying. Yeah. That's the kind of future we're in. Okay, we're fine.
It's like this is gonna escalate real quick.
So there was an article that you posted because we share everything in a chat, so that way we can keep up with the topics and everything that we're going to discuss in the show. And there was a topic that we threw there like a couple weeks ago about sex robots. And if you want to, you have it pulled up.
Is it on incognito?
I think it's the same thing. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing,
man.
So just make sure you got that on
I think it's
incognito.
the same
mode.
thing. Yeah.
No, when they pull up the history on this, they're like, new male sex robots with bionic penises may just replace man for good. That's the article title. And it's basically about a new, I don't know if we would call it a fad or a new trend going on around the world where women are now requesting male sex robots be made. And I just want to open the floor up to the discussion of, I don't know if anybody read the article. Did everybody get a chance to read it? You read a little bit of it?
Okay, so you said a new trend. I wouldn't say a new trend because I feel like obviously we've had sex robots or sex bots or
Fair.
what do they say, blow up dolls and all that stuff. It's kind of like it's just
Progression.
Okay.
growing and becoming more innovative. And I was just surprised that they had one for women because when we talk about sex robots or stuff, blow up dolls, any of that stuff, it's always focused on men.
Right.
So it was interesting that they found one. I didn't like it though because it reminded me of Westworld. Like I don't.
Okay.
Great. I'm glad you said that.
They
so
said
glad.
they had a backstory. I was like, nope, I don't want
It even talks to you. Like, if you cuddle up to it, it'll tell you, like, sweet nothingness in your ear. Like,
So it has a programmed artificial intelligence,
to listen and respond back, yes.
but it has a history or like a background programmed into it as well.
I guess you can give any doll a history. Like,
Well, I'm not even talking about like just on a Build-A-Bear. Like it literally has it programmed in there like to
like memories.
yes.
right, exactly, to respond to certain things.
That's Westworld.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Oh,
that's
you know
very
what?
Westworld.
That also
That's-
makes me think of y'all seen that Black Mirror episode with Agent Carter in it, where her husband had died,
Yes. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
and she wanted to kind of not clone him, but like have the artificial intelligence as replacing the husband, kind of taking his appearance and everything, but there were still differences. Okay, so you
Yeah, I know.
know.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've seen it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That's also another thing that reminded me. Is my broke ass hasn't seen Westworld yet.
So,
I like that. Okay.
perfect.
Is there any situation where this is okay? Because what you said was a different situation. There's a situation of I just want this, and then there's a situation of I want to bring some coping. which might even be worse or better depending on how you look at it. But is there any situation where this is all right, and do we think this is any situation where this will become
You think men? Are you
normal?
asking are guys going to be replaced? Are you asking that?
Not even that.
Okay, we're not there.
I'm
yet.
talking about like Susie's got a sex robot. Will that become as normal as Susie's got a Corolla? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, will that become as common?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's going to be normal and or become some form of normacy.
Right.
Just because man, like it exists already.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a new kind of
Advancement.
evolution
Yeah.
of this same like ideology.
Right.
Now, whether a person uses it for
Like you said,
for
coping.
their, you could say coping.
Yeah.
You know, somebody passed, maybe they can do the memories or backgrounds of somebody they loved.
Right.
Things like that. That gets a little creepy to me.
That gets
Just-
dystopian real quick.
Yeah, but
That's the
that's
problem.
that's a whole nother mindset that you have to have. But
Right.
if that'll help a person cope, I don't see a problem with it. But in reality, none of these things affect me per se,
Right.
because like if you have a sex robot, you have a sex robot. It's not like
Yeah, exactly.
everyone has a sex robot.
Wait.
Or the community is using. Well, as long as they're not pimping out sex robots for people, would that be like new prostitution?
Here's the problem with that. That's a whole nother issue. Here's the problem with that. The,
Onions. It's like-
you'd have to, then you'd be getting into Turing test stuff. There's no way you would be able to pull that off without a robot, an artificial intelligence that could pass that.
Wait,
The
you
Turing-
can't
Now
pull
you
off what?
could.
You can't pull off what?
Talking about fooling
Explain.
somebody. Turing test is
You're not
basically
trying
when
to fool 'em.
Turing.
Turing.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
Turing test is when a artificial intelligence can fool a person.
I don't want it to
Into
fool
thinking
somebody.
it's right.
I want
Real.
you to know what's happening.
Now,
So you pay up the money up front.
now, like you were saying, that's basically like those little rental bikes you see downtown.
Hey,
Somebody could do that if they want to buy 50 of these motherfuckers and clean them.
There's a place. Oh, where was it? I want to say Amsterdam just because that sounds like that.
that's
where
right.
they were having.
That's actually
Amsterdam
right.
be wild.
No, that's actually right.
Is it?
That
Yeah.
is right. Okay, that has the sex brothel with
Mhm.
dolls. Yeah.
It's like-
So I know we talked about it on our show, but yeah, there's a place where they have the dolls. You rent it for like about a 30-minute hour, whatever.
Price is crazy.
To interact with dolls.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so people out there would do it.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
yeah, absolutely.
There's
I mean,
an audience
it-
for everything.
It would
when
make
comes to
pimping a lot
sex.
easier.
I
Yeah.
feel like with everything else, it would be just like kind of don't ask, don't tell situation. Like we
Right.
don't ask everyone that has a vibrator in their drawer. You know what I mean?
Right,
Or
exactly.
pocket pussy. So
Right.
it's
That's-
just, they have a sex doll unless it's sitting at the table when you come to visit Susan.
I
And then
mean-
she's like, "This is my boyfriend."
Right.
Like then you have a problem. but-
right.
What was you about to say?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking because I feel like when, to me, it's pointless. I don't understand the point of having like sex doll for women, because I can use a vibrator, or I can use so many other options. Why do I need a
Exactly.
whole doll to talk to me? Like I feel like that emotional connection might be more important, and that's why you would have the doll. But then that makes it less like I don't know. I wouldn't care that much about the sex part of it if that's why I'm getting the doll.
I feel like it's almost enabling like mental health people like that are like or almost
That
like
just cannot cope or
Yeah.
cannot be or cannot that have loneliness issues but just can't really interact with people in
Yeah.
a sense.
Right.
And I read there's a company, it's controversial. I think it's in Sweden or something, one of those countries. They were in talks about making, children versions as a way to
Oh.
avert pedophiles.
Oh,
And that
okay.
was
Oh,
really
I did hear about
controversial
that.
too.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So that's like a whole.
Now
nother
this
can of
plays
worms.
into, like we said, the whole overarching thing is there any time when it's okay? It may sound creepy or strange,
I think it's.
regardless,
Mhm.
but is there any point in that, like you said, the aversion of sexual predators and stuff like that, where it becomes okay?
Such a slippery slope.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I already think we're there.
And when you say we're already there,
That it's a time where it's okay. Like,
as far as the robots,
The
correct?
robots.
We're still on the
Well, the
robots.
robots, yeah, the robots,
well,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
No to pedophiles.
No, God.
No to pedophiles. But the robots, I think we are at that time. Like, if you did this in the 80s, that shit's not gonna fly.
Yeah,
you did
no.
this in the 60s,
Hell, you can even go back to the 90s and have problems with it,
like,
to be completely honest.
you would have had Salem
2000s.
witch hunches.
Right,
know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like, we're at a point where they're mass producing things like robots, these different, even if it's coping mechanism, even if you want to do your
yeah, they have those bears that put people's voices in it for like.
that's creepy to me
like
too.
that.
But I understand, like for me, these things are creepy.
Yeah.
But I understand that, like how good it would be to have, like to hear a lost one's voice, or to have like if you could have just like a 30-second chat, even if it was like scripted.
Right.
Like how good that would be just to have that like longing memory of a person. So I understand like the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
Right,
but
exactly.
I'm a person that's like
Video
I'll be
cameras.
sleep, and then the bear start talking, and then
Right.
like I'm gonna be thinking it's Chucky all over.
Now, what you kind of see with this nowadays, what you kind of see with this nowadays, not really in the same sense, but I've done multiple stories on it at the station, is
On what?
on the coping side of it.
Okay, that's why.
With a loved one.
Okay.
Is you have someone who died, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's young, unexpectedly, their organs get donated to somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have that situation where they get to hear the person's heartbeat again in someone else. And that's a form of mourning, coping with that situation. This is kind of taking it to a whole nother level, but I think the problem that most people will have with it, and even like some of the underlying kind of like issues that we might even have with it, is the fact that it's artificial.
Okay.
There's no, that's literally their heart. That's literally their eyes. That's literally their pancreas, whatever. This is completely created, which I think a lot of people have trouble with something that's manufactured, creating a serious emotion in somebody, or trying to fix a serious emotion, or trying to fix a serious like mental thing in somebody. Some people still have problems with that because it's like they almost feel like it gets to the point where they've created something, but then that thing has kind of evolved beyond the leash. You see what I'm saying? Like you kind of create something and it becomes affecting emotionally and whatever on a level where you're like, if I create a toaster, it makes toast. It doesn't print hateful shit on the toast. Like, fuck blacks on the toast. Like, man, come on,
You can make
toaster.
that if
What's
you
up,
want.
man?
You can
Man, you
make
can
toaster
make
say
it.
fuck
But
off.
that's the
Your
thing.
toast is gonna
You
get
can
thrown.
make it. But if I just buy a toaster and it suddenly starts putting its ideals on the toast, you're like, all right, I need to throw this toaster out. It's because it's artificial and it's trying to affect something tangible in us, which we kind of hold ourselves above machines.
I think you're thinking
It's
like
kind of
iRobot. in
well,
this
yeah,
sense,
but I'm saying this is kind of
it's-
where mentally, kind of like this is the hump. I
It's a
think
very
that some
thin
people
line.
will have to get over.
it's a very like slippery slope for sure. I don't think people are buying these for coping mechanisms. Like I don't think the
No,
vast
no.
majority of people
Yeah,
buying
I don't
these
think
are
so
coping.
either,
They're
honestly.
literally
Sex
trying to
robots.
get
Yeah, I
their
don't
like
think so.
their rocks off
Yeah, I don't
for whatever
think so.
reason. Whether it's like people that's like I'm done with men. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I get hurt, this and that, and they can just have the
Like a
physical.
$30,000 robot.
Bing, they got
Right.
$30,000 to blow, and they're like, "Yo, every night I'm a." Giggity.
That was good. That was good.
Giggity.
Yes.
And then you see why I'm with this group.
It's always true.
Uh,
That was good.
so you have that, and then I'm more curious of like when they get the research done, why did people like reach out for this like product?
Yeah.
Why did they?
Yeah, like what was their reasoning behind like what made this a need? Like
In the same sense
Or
as
a
anyone
true want.
purchasing anything, it's specifically for them for themselves. I mean, like as far as talking about sex robots, as our guest, Ebony. Oh, excuse me. There we go.
got choked up about sex.
The
robots.
bourbon, not the bourbon.
No,
Let's
it's
get the
bourbon.
bourbon.
I get it, the robot. It's hard to get down.
As she brought up, as far as, or as she and Shayna brought up, as far as pocket pussies, fleshlights, vibrators, things like that, it's more of an escalation as far as products, in a sense.
Yeah.
People can sit there and look at this objectively as far as figuring out this is what I'm using specifically to get my rocks off. And then there's also kind of like, y'all remember those seals? That they would sit there and bring to the nursing home, like those little teddy bear type things.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And there's as far as that situation of coping,
Right.
that I mean, there's potential in that, but as far as the initial reaction that I've gotten when I've read that article or looked at that article, it's specifically a consumer issue as far as, I just want to get my rocks off.
Right.
As far as it's entirely up to that person.
But I'm just curious, like, will there be a certain trend that'll come out, like, where people will say, like, hey, this is why, like, this happened, or this is specifically why I reached out for this product. Like, I'm just wondering, when they do
I'm
the
sure
consensus.
Eboni probably has more expertise, since that's how your podcast goes, as far as like the taboo subjects and things of that nature. But it still kind of goes along with somebody's preference.
Yeah, sure.
Right. As far as, what, this is what works for me. This is what I am capable of doing with the time that's given, or with the my surroundings or my environment.
And there's a lot of things that can change. I know just from being on the military base, especially, like, women talk.
Mm-hmm.
They get accustomed to toys because their men are gone.
Right.
And then their men get back. They still prefer the toys. Because sometimes you got used to that, and it's simple, it's easy, it's quick. Especially for women, like, we have so much on our mind when we want it sometimes. We want it right then and there. I don't know about you, Eboni, but it's like you just want to get your rocks off really quickly with no effort and then get back to what you're doing.
Right.
And you get accustomed to that. It can escalate really quickly. And then it's like some people they got turned off completely. I know emotional things happen to where they just don't like human contact, period.
Right.
But they still have that sexual need.
Right.
So again, that's where, like, the robot could be useful, because it's like I'm getting my sexual need, but I don't have to deal with you as a person. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or worry about you or have your juices or anything. You don't have to worry about that. So in some cases, I could see how it could escalate into that, but I don't know. Again, $30,000.
Right.
Very special people are going to pay for that. It probably is.
Now, that'll be interesting to look at, like you said, the data for it, like why. But the interesting thing is, if you look at it the same way as like somebody buying a vibrator or whatever, will they be even able to ask those questions without breaching people's privacy?
Wait, I'm sorry. Who's asking those? Which
Like, for instance, it'd be interesting to look at, like Brent said, like why people have the preference or want to go that far to that next level of having a sex robot. But then at the same time, I guess you can probably find some sort of data of why people get vibrators or whatever. And generally people put it out there.
At the same time, it's also disposable income.
Well,
you got, like, you said the 30,000.
We'll use that as the estimate, $30,000.
Oh,
that's probably
that sounds accurate.
That does sound accurate.
It's lower than that.
It's lower than that. Okay.
It's lower. Okay. Oh, well then.
Easy there. Wait till after the
Amazon
podcast.
Prime, right?
All right.
Amazon Prime.
They can get it to you in about 2 days. He's put it on his wish list.
Make wish list public.
Kickstarter.
Yeah, make Kickstarter.
Kickstarter to get
public wish list.
I'm not even gonna do it. So to sum up the article, because I think we've covered this pretty well. Let's just get one last round.
Unless we actually had somebody who.
And I've got a blitz topic too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the article said that men could go extinct. What are your thoughts? Yes or no, Eboni? Men go extinct if this became the norm? No? All right. Shayna?
When I first read it, I thought possibly, but then I realized we have a lot of emotional creatures on this.
The thing
still,
talks to you,
probably
so
not.
it can give you the emotion side too.
That's how I told you. If it can't pass that test, there's no way it'd be able to.
If it can't pass what test?
Turing test.
Oh,
as
that
far
it
as
looks.
the intelligence.
Oh,
yeah, the intelligent. Like, it has to be able to fool you. If you're
well,
in
it
a
doesn't
room,
have to. Well, it's not. It doesn't
Why
have
would
to.
it have to
fool
pass?
you.
It just has to give you
be
the correct
no.
convincing.
I'm talking about to, like, get to the point where men go extinct, quote them, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, go ahead.
Well,
please.
No.
All right.
I mean,
I like this.
I just wanted to.
I like this shit. I like
I
Webster.
was like,
think about it. I mean, think about it.
Okay.
How long has the Fleshlight been out?
I don't know. I didn't do any research on fleshlights.
Well, let me clear my history.
Clear history.
That's another thing I missed on incognito. But no, as far as it's just in my mind. Unless you are using this for emotional matters, if it's strictly physical, it's not going to be any. It's not going to replace. It's not going to do any kind of population control.
Right.
I mean, it could.
But even then, have you seen? Has anyone seen Idiocracy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Have you seen that movie? Or have you?
No.
Okay. It's a movie. Okay.
Look was
like that's one of the things that came to mind when I thought about this. It's a movie where it talks about in the future where all of these smart people die out.
Yeah.
And it's basically just idiots that have lasted longer and outlived the smarter people. Strictly for the fact that, like, whether it be financial reasons, strictly like environment reasons, as far as them being able to populate or copulate, pardon me, as far reproduce and all that other stuff, because they don't really put much thought into it. It's like, hey, I want to put my dick in that, or it's just in some.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
In a way, like I'm done with, like, it's a really good movie. I was like,
it's a good movie.
Despite what I just said, I'm gonna put my dick in that. I recommend.
Terry Crews plays the president.
I wish
it's
that
a
could
great
be
movie.
It sounds
tagline
like
of the
many
show.
hypothetical conversations I've had.
A lot of people compare it to this current administration. A lot of people make that joke. No.
Like,
Well,
what-
this came out
that's
during
a-
Bush administration.
Well, yeah, this came out during Bush, but a lot of people use it now. Like,
I'm gonna
as
put my
joking.
dick in that as
No,
as a,
it's
what
idiocracy.
analogy? You, oh, okay.
Look,
that-
they
all right, 'cause
say
I was
like
I've
idiocracy
never
is
heard
where
anybody
America
say
is
that.
now. No,
All right.
No, I mean, in like it's.
That's
You just had to clarify that.
Jokingly.
We had to
Jokingly.
clarify that. I was like, I've never once heard somebody refer to the presidency as
Can I put my dick in it?
right, can I put my dick in it? Not talking about Bill.
Best campaign slogan ever.
I'm not talking about Bill. But I was like, I've never heard that ever. Like,
Trump
what's their
2020.
policies? What's
Can
their
I put my
policies?
dick in it?
There was carry a
According
big.
to Trump, he doesn't have to ask.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go.
That's right. Grab
Trump
it in
Pitts 2017. Can I
grab
put
it
my
in the
dick in?
biscuit.
That's how he's gonna get along with the
I'm
fish.
sorry,
He's
let's
gonna
go.
ask first.
All right, Blitz,
To get
stop
back on
it.
track. To get back on
Yeah,
track.
Blitz,
Stop
what's
track.
Blitz,
Stop
Blitz,
this.
Blitz, stop it.
I'm sorry. To finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
To finish what I had to say. I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
Oh,
Four?
God, it's so funny.
It's okay. Thank you.
Long story short, no, this is not going to do any kind of population control because
Yeah.
there are still way too many people that love the real thing.
I'm with you. This is not going to do anything. What's your Blitz topic? Because I got a
All right.
couple more.
But, no.
What's your Blitz topic?
If you're
Go
done
for it.
with this, only if you're done with this.
We're good.
'Cause it
I
kinda
think we-
ties
I think-
into this.
I think we settled the score on robots on OAF.
Okay. So this kind of plays into a shift, and I think Ebony might have some good insight on this. Is to a shift into the way that we view sexuality in this country, in this time, in the future. There was a video. I forgot her name. I think her name is Lena. The Plug is her @name on Twitter and on
And I
Instagram.
started searching.
So basically what happened was in January she posted up a video where it said, I'm going to let my friend have sex with my boyfriend. We're going to talk about it afterwards. So they start the video off, have the video, talk about, hey, this is such. She's going to bang my boyfriend. And then we're going to come back and we're going to have a conversation with it afterwards here on YouTube. So they do it. They cut. They come back. Everybody's all sweaty. And then they're like, okay, here's how it was. And they talk about it. So she had 65,000 subscribers at that point. Now she has 750,000 subscribers. Her other thing that she posted on her site too, and she posted for her boyfriend's YouTube pages as well, because he has one too, is when they get to 1 million subscribers, they're gonna make a sex tape.
The
boyfriend and girlfriend, not the friend.
Okay, all right.
Now, the interesting thing about this is a lot of people went into this and they looked at it and they thought that like she would get destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, she's just whoring herself out for what's name. But one thing, she's doing it with her boyfriend. One, she's doing it with a friend, which that's kind of the interesting part. And she's asking for more followers, which is also the part where they thought she would get destroyed. But most of it, as far as the like to dislike ratio, if you just look at that barometer, it's very much in favor of likes.
Okay.
Now, the ideology, kind of looking at it from that perspective, is it seems like most people are okay with them doing this. Now, they didn't go, if you look at the video, they didn't really go in depth and have a really good conversation about how it was to share your man with another woman. That wasn't really the good thing. That was what a lot of people wanted. That was what I wanted, because it would be an interesting conversation. Like to.
Did you watch the video?
Yeah.
How was the
It's
video?
on YouTube. It's not like Pornhub.
Yeah,
Next video.
Sex tape, right?
As I was,
Yeah,
I was
right.
like, Okay.
But yeah, it's like it was like a 2-minute conversation about how it was, and the rest of them were just kind of joking around. But kind of the and you could tell she puts up a lot of very like scantily clad pictures, a lot of stuff that like she's put up like pictures with her doing like sexual acts. But kind of the other argument looking at it was, one, is this just where we are now, where like this kind of thing is just, it's not really that big of a deal as it used to be. Like we talked about how like the sex robot thing a decade ago or 2 decades ago would have been like, whoa. But now we're in this point in 2017 where even like something like this is just kind of like, yeah, fuck it. But the other part of it is...
Well,
yeah, I know,
in
right?
a way.
Yeah, exactly. The other part of it is a lot of people were trying to compare it the other people were trying to compare it to like similarities and kind of like, is this something along the lines of what people were kind of naming as the Kim Kardashian strategy? Of you kind of like, you kind of put out like a sex tape or something like that, or it leaks, and you basically capitalize on that and turn it into profit. A lot of people had the argument that like it wasn't, that it was a little bit different, that this is more of like she's going more the sexual route. Kim went more of the like it accidentally came out but then kind of capitalized on it, turned it around.
Which video?
The Ray J one. Come on.
No.
Anyways, yeah, I know.
I think he got it. It
Yeah,
wasn't
right,
which. Never mind.
Yeah, but anyways, so we went from there, and then we kind of went from there, and then but that was the.
So what's
that was the thought process. Is are we in a place now in 2017 where something like this, where somebody can go online and say they're going to have like this, like they're going to basically share their man with another woman, have this conversation, and it's like there's no backlash to it. There's no backlash to it of it being looked at as honestly a piece of marketing for her to get more YouTube subscribers too.
I feel there's two questions.
That's where, that's where a lot of people thought the kind of like flack and anger was going to come to, and it didn't. So that was kind of my question, is like, are we in the place now where this is okay, and that like using sexuality to this point on a personal level, because this is a personal level, this is not like a company. This is literally a person who decided to share, just like we talked about while we share, these people just happen to be sharing something on the most intimate level. But what do you guys think? Ebony, if you want to start, because I wanted to get your idea. When I saw it, that's what I thought.
You being the expert now.
Yeah, right, yeah.
We ain't even told everybody about that.
A lot of thoughts throughout the whole time you were talking. I was like, I should have been taking notes. Because the first thing when you said that, when you first said she had a friend have sex with a boyfriend, of course my face was turned all the way up. Like, what? But I was more interested in, like, because we just recently had a conversation about, like, you could have the same man that has sex with 5 different women, and every woman will have a different experience with that man as far as, like, sexual experience, whether or not they enjoyed it, whether or not they didn't. So I was kind of curious if they talked about that.
Exactly, and that's where people were hoping the interesting conversation would have came, but it didn't. It was more like 2 minutes of kind of like, ha ha ha, we did this, and then that was it. And then they just kind of fucked around for the rest of the time.
At least get some research out of it.
Exactly, yeah. It was like, I mean, that was the thing where it kind of was a lost, I guess not really a lost cause, but it just didn't, it wasn't.
That's how you know it's clearly for the publicity and not because, like,
there you go.
Exactly.
Doing different things.
Exactly.
Like that.
But they still didn't get the level of scrutiny that I think a lot of people thought they would for literally being completely open, like, I want more followers. This is what we're doing. And if I get this many followers, we're going to do this. Right. But everybody was kind of like, fuck it.
I mean, that's just the world we live in now.
Exactly.
I mean, people have been doing stuff like this since the internet came out, basically for attention.
That's true.
I think we're kind of numb to it by now, where it's like, well, this bird is doing this, so let them live.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I love use bird. I love that you use bird.
It's something to be said about the honesty too, right? Because we all know the Instagram models that are on, that take pictures in certain manners and do things because they want to get followers. And for somebody to say like, I'm doing this specifically to get followers, kind of like, oh well, at least she's being honest about it. as opposed to the other people that are like, oh no, I just like taking pictures like this, and this is just how I wake up, and the fakeness that comes with that.
Right.
Exactly.
Why people were more okay with it.
I think that's why the said Kardashians get backlash is because they pretend
Right.
like, oh no, this is happening to me. It's like, no, you called them to make this happen.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Just don't insult our intelligence.
Yeah.
That's all.
And is that why this wasn't scrutinized, this particular case? Because they literally put it out there from the jump.
That and because
It wasn't
they're
like it was
nobodies.
leaked. Yeah, well, that too. I guess that's true too.
I
I
mean,
would
that's called
have
a
loved
nobody,
if this was
but-
more of an experiment than it was
Right.
as she described
Absolutely.
it as a publicity stunt.
Yeah, it could have
It
been an
would've-
intelligent conversation.
Kind of like
after
the
the
Hurt
fact.
Bay thing, because that's what I pictured. Like
That's what I thought
people
that-
having
yeah,
a
that's
conversation.
exactly
Yeah, there's the
Right,
Hurt Bay thing.
right.
Yeah.
There's a good podcast that kind of explores something similar to it, but it's basically just like all guys, and they kind of discuss like the male kind of like point of view of sexual relationships, and I think the podcast is called "Guys Were Fucked." I think is what
Guys,
it's
we
called.
fucked.
Guys
Like,
were.
Guys,
all
we're
guys?
fucked. Like guys were fucked.
Oh,
like,
guys.
like a bomb's
comma,
coming.
Guys, comma.
Yeah, yeah.
We are fucked.
Like if a
Okay.
bomb was coming, like falling on the house, like
Yeah,
guys
it's
were
like-
fucked. Like it's
Did
said
you
like
need to go
that.
to the incognito
There's
mode?
a podcast called Guys We Fucked. I
Yeah.
swear there's a podcast.
Really? Okay.
Oh,
well.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Guys, comma.
been,
We're fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
one.
All right.
Guys, comedy. Yeah. Okay. But that
I
was
like how
kind
y'all
of.
two have the biggest smiles when I said that. Like, they were like, yeah, there's a podcast. Like, just all cheeses over it.
But-
I know to skip over that if I ever come across it. But no, never mind.
But that was kind of the main
It's
thing.
interesting podcast. But anyway.
So,
Yeah.
so which question are we asking
Yeah.
at this point in time? Are we asking regarding the intent of the content that they put out, or are we asking the question of?
Well, I think the intent's pretty clear. I think the main thing is just, I mean, and Shayna pretty much basically answered it, was where is the lack of scrutiny on this particular instance based purely off of we've come to a point where it's 2017, comma, we're numb to it, comma, it's kind of, they're nobodies, comma, it's just something that we're used to.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
We lived through 2 Girls, 1 Cup. I mean,
That's a good.
I was
that's
going to take a
good point.
drink, too.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Right.
You might want to.
You
after
may
that.
need to.
Yeah, you may need to after that.
No, they did enough drinking on there.
Yeah. The other thing that kind of like went into it too, that kind of spurred off of it, was there was a conversation that basically talked about like, at what point do they just become defined as porn stars, and then also there's
Did
kind
they
of
get
this.
paid?
Yeah, exactly, and that was kind of the big argument was if you're not receiving money,
Yeah, you're not a porn star.
right? But then there's the other thing
I mean,
where you kind of
the-
see nowadays,
thoughts?
yeah,
No, yeah.
the payment, yeah. So I thought, yeah,
Sorry.
that's
Paid
I
on
figured
camera.
we
Those
pretty
are
much
things
come
that
down,
we
yeah,
do.
Paid in what?
paid.
And a camera. Because
Okay.
if you just get paid prostitution, if it's camera, you're a porn star.
There we go.
I like that. That's,
Loophole.
That's nice. I like that. Yeah. Now the other thing
Good
is
to know.
kind of looking at now. You see there are a lot of like the porn stars nowadays. In order to become relevant or stay relevant, there's kind of this cross fucking pollination between like, in order for a porn star to become relevant or become popular, they really have to have a social media presence.
Right.
oh yeah, like Tiana
Yeah.
Trump Snapchat and stuff like that.
Exactly. And then on the other side,
That you were so quick
and then
with that example.
who's it at? What's the other? Oh shit.
I know things.
Oh, there are
okay?
plenty.
Riley Reid is another one that's big on social media, but then she's big. Now the other one that people use as an example too is you have like what's her name?
Mia Khalifa.
Mia Khalifa. Now
Oh.
she blew up.
Oh.
She blew up. Yeah,
Oh.
she's ridiculous. Now she blew up. Now the thing that she did that was interesting is that she blew up porn wise,
And then,
but now she's out of it.
yeah.
Now that's kind
Oh.
of that seems like. That
We'll
seems.
save that for another episode.
Is
We'll
that
save
yeah right
that for another
exactly?
episode. Because she,
Now, is
she's
that-
so trash.
Is
Yes.
that looked at as the reverse of what you would
see who this
expect?
is.
Would you expect it to go the other way, where they would blow up into porn, not blow up, get into porn, and then get
Well.
out? Seriously.
I'm sorry, which one were you asking?
No, you. Just,
what'd you
either one of
say?
y'all. Either one of y'all.
Well, as I
I
just
just
said,
said I think that's the dream for a lot of them, or that's what they want. They want to like get big in porn and be like, oh, but I want to transition out of it.
yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly what I kind of see, especially in the case of Mia Khalifa, because obviously she just wasn't cut out, like in my opinion, for porn to begin with. God, she's so trash.
What does she look like?
She's very pretty.
She's
I'll say that she
Very
is pretty,
attractive.
but she can't do anyway.
Yeah.
God,
Maybe that was a part of her draw. I don't know.
so disappointing, especially all that controversy around
Yes.
it. I think that's what
Extraness.
I think that's what also upped her popularity to begin with.
Yes, that's
The
probably
controversy.
why
That's
she
probably
did
what it
it.
was. And for her to branch out and to sit there and do something else. Didn't Anna Nicole Smith kind of do that in a way?
Yeah, I mean that's true.
Yeah,
She was
got big
more.
to a certain point and then branch out into something
Yeah.
else. And I can't speak for all porn stars.
Yeah. Now,
No, shut up. Shut up.
Are you saying you are a porn star then?
now if
I plead the fifth.
if we
Well.
look at this,
OAF's porn star.
did,
Out there making tapes
First
just for
of
you
all.
all.
First of all,
Jesus
You got the
Christ.
first?
shut up.
Gary was first?
Stupid. Is now it used to be video girls, right?
This segue. I was not ready for
Hip hop
this.
honeys.
Yeah, hip hop honeys, yeah. Video girls, whatever.
Out of control.
Yeah. Just say uncut and move on.
Right, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, what you got? What other topics we got? Because I'm gonna move on for it. I'm gonna move on for it.
Did we express all we needed to?
The only thing, other thing I was gonna bring up is
You gotta say it again.
what kind of comparisons can you draw between like the music video girls and stuff like that to now just like the Instagram models? And is there any?
I guess video girls at least had to dance a little bit.
But here's the thing.
Not even, they just had to walk around sometimes.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They're only out. They didn't have. That was their outlet.
I think
Was being in a music video. Now they can just do it themselves.
And I think that's
Being
the
on
difference.
Instagram
Like,
puts them in the music
it's a evolution.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Like, instead of you having to be a video vixen or video girl, whatever, now you can gain your exposure by taking your
posting
own,
on Instagram.
posting all your own pictures and videos, or twerk videos, or whatever the heck you're doing to makeup, things like that.
They have more control.
Yeah, it's more control, and
Yeah.
you can reach even
The
bigger
choice of
audience.
sponsors and
Like,
stuff.
yeah, choice of sponsors, but like instead of now you being on somebody's video, now you can broadcast to the world on your own time and
Just do
space.
live Snapchat videos.
Yeah.
The last video vixen I can think of that kind of made more of herself in a sense was Amber Rose. Now I can think about it.
You're right.
They branched out. Like it's kind of goes back to the porn thing we were talking about. He's like,
I didn't know she was a video vixen.
I
Yeah.
didn't either. I'm like,
Well,
I thought she was a stripper and then dated
I was
Kanye
gonna
West.
say like Bernice Burgos.
well,
or
see, I remember her
something.
being in videos.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was in a couple.
And
okay.
Wasn't she
and
in
then
the
it kind
game?
of and then she started
She was in the game.
exactly.
Right.
Well, unless you're on YouTube, yeah. But,
But I think that's just the correlation, like with technology and just how media works now.
Yeah.
Instead of you just having to try to like get your way on as a video vixen, you can now just be
You can
your
make
own.
your own route.
Yeah, you can make your own brand. Like basically,
Yeah.
you can now brand yourself.
You can do that with everything.
From
I was about to
seat.
say, yeah, that's the
That's how
interesting
we're
thing.
here.
That's literally like whether it's podcasting to music to porn,
I
like
see
you can do
people
it
promoting their
all
own
yourself.
Chef skills, everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
that's very true. Yeah.
I see what you did there.
The control is in the hands of the consumer.
so we kind of went way off topic from the questions that were asked on
We
this
did
next
all right.
topic. I mean, no, it's good. It's good. It's good. I'm just kind of curious as far as like we were talking about this being a publicity stunt, and then we were talking about that particular experiment or this, that, and the other, and the backlash or lack of backlash.
Lack of backlash.
So you feel
It
like
was
there
ba-
have been more.
I
Or
expected.
expected more.
Yeah, I expected more, but at the same time, because even still, a lot of people have that kind of joking punchline that like Kim Kardashian, the only reason she's famous because she got on tape fucking somebody.
Wait, when did this happen?
What, this thing?
Yeah.
The video, I think they released the video in January.
I'm just saying, the internet is a big space.
January.
Everyone might have been fake mad about something else.
That's true.
Right.
Whatever,
This might have been
January.
slipped under the
Oh,
radar.
Oh, well, Trump got elected. Trump got elected. So
We're back to outrage culture.
Trump got elected. Yeah, Trump got elected, so that threw everybody off. Everybody just
But
slid
I
in.
did look her up,
Subscribe.
and it looks like she does do the paid Snapchats and all that.
Yeah,
kind of
she does
stuff.
all
So
that
she
stuff
might be
now.
moving more into
Yep.
amateur pornish type stuff anyway.
Right. And that's the thing, like she has a lot of those outlets where she can make income through those things, and it seemed like is basically like this was that video, that threesome video, whatever you want to call it, was the jumping off point.
There's a threesome video now?
No, that was the whole
That was
point.
the original.
That was the point. She had sex. She let her friend have sex with her boyfriend.
But I thought she wasn't involved.
No,
I thought,
she was like, fuck it, I'm horny too.
Oh, no, I thought so when you brought this up, I thought literally the experiment was going to be she let her girlfriend have sex with her boyfriend. I mean, like her friend, and then she was away.
She was there.
Did she participate?
Yeah, a little bit. Not as much.
You know, a little finger here and there.
Yeah.
See,
She was that
changed it for me because I was like, I thought she was like, the experiment is how would
Y'all
you
moving too slow.
Right.
Just,
And see, and that was the thing. That's what a lot of people wanted / expected. Was what you're talking about. That's
on video.
It's definitely on video.
That's on video.
Definitely on video.
I swear.
That's what a lot of people wanted / expected
was
having the separation.
I thought
then
it was
coming
separate
back
and
together
then
to
have
have
a
the conversation. Exactly. And it wasn't really
Now
that.
it means nothing to me now.
Exactly. See, that works.
Because I mean that's just a threesome.
It could have been an interesting conversation.
Can I bring up episode of y'all?
Yeah.
They were having a discussion about or not a discussion. Somebody brought up a point that a person they knew would have sex, like the guy and the girl would get friends of theirs and they would have sex with them.
Okay.
That just sounds like a thing, you know what I'm saying? Something like one step of that.
Right. Except they advertised it to everybody.
Like that's to me, I'm like, that's nothing out of the
yeah,
blue.
it wasn't extravagant or over the top or anything. It just was I think the people, the kind of like people that were kind of looking at it like, ooh, this could be interesting. But then there's people that were like, ooh, this is hot. Like the people that were like, ooh, this is interesting could have been like, oh, this could have been a lot more in depth and a kind of like a social experiment. Because like Ebony said, is like everybody who has sex with the same person might have different experiences every time. So that conversation could have been dynamic.
Very true.
But it wasn't. It was just kind of like, ha, ha, ha.
What I think would have brought either more backlash or maybe move like this
expanded the discussion.
Yeah, the discussion would be the concept of I'm gonna use you as an example.
Yeah.
All right, you and your girlfriend agree that she can have sex with one of your friends.
Right.
You're gonna stay away, like they're gonna have sex, and then you all are gonna have a group discussion about that.
Right.
That is an experiment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that would be an experiment. I'd be like.
Exactly.
Like how detailed are you going to get in the conversation?
Exactly.
Are you now going to look at your friend and be like, so did she do that one thing? Like
right.
how weird is this going to get? I mean, like
Exactly.
how open is this going to be?
You
know what I'm saying? How
exactly.
open will this conversation be?
Yeah, it could have been.
Because I mean, it could really turn into a good conversation.
Exactly.
This shit could hit the fan real quick.
Right, and I think that's what the other good point that Ebony made too is. That's why it seems like more of just blatant advertisement to try to get more views, which is why I expected more backlash.
I was trying to get views
because it was so obvious.
That's nothing new.
If it was more like
you watched it, like it brought you in, you watched it, and you're
because
like
the headline,
the advertisement got you. Marketing, like the marketing scheme was good. It brought in what it was supposed to.
And here's the thing too.
You have backlash.
No. And here's my thing too. I have nothing against it. Do what you want to get your views. Do whatever you need to do. But the thing is, I expected it because I thought that was still like I thought people would look at it that way. And the interesting thing
we're
is,
not analog anymore.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying like that's why I asked the question: is it a result of this day and age that we live in? Which is why I like Shayna's answer.
Yes.
I don't think it's a good lesson for creators, though, that you can do whatever you want and not have to worry so much about the backlash because you're going to find people that are interested in it.
All you have to say is Trump is in office and know that.
I guess that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Very true.
That is true.
That's my motto for everything. Trump is in office. I can do anything I want.
Right. If he can do it,
I can do it.
Ride my bike through this office right now.
Another bit. It's the internet. You're going to find an audience for anything.
This is true.
Yeah, that's true. Nice.
What you got? So, since we're talking about creators and you know, I
And
feel like
sex robots
it's sex
and
robots, and you know,
Can you fuck my friend?
can you fuck friends?
Can you fuck my friend,
These hypothetical,
This episode.
these hypotheticals. Would you rather? I'm gonna put a would you rather to you all, and I want to hear what you all's y'all pick one and tell why. Would you rather be able to master every instrument in existence, or be able to speak fluently every language in the world? But you can only do one.
Language. I got it. Language.
That's what I said.
Why
I
language?
think language.
I want to travel.
Me
And it
too.
would make it so much easier if I know the languages. I'm not that interested in instruments.
All right. Shayna's language. Same concept.
I want to travel. I want to know who I'm talking to, what we're talking about. You ain't gonna get me.
Okay. Have you decided? What?
I've kind of decided.
What you got?
It's not peer pressure, I promise.
What is it?
I'm with language.
I think language.
Language?
I had a trouble picking language because, like, the way I look at the instrument thing is
Because you can
infinite creativity.
You can kind of transcend barriers as
Yeah.
far as cultural
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
language.
We know how
But-
transcendent music is from language to language. And then I look at it too as like if I know every instrument, I can create nonstop forever.
Yeah.
I can do a song on the guitar, then I can play the fucking piano, then I can play the drums, then I can play the flute. I can play like the thoughts, like when I have a song in my head that has multiple parts, and I'm like, okay, I can make the drum
It's like
pattern.
mid-condition.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
So-
it's almost too much
Mhm.
that it becomes overwhelming, which is almost why I kind of was like, all right, let me just go to language because I would drive myself crazy.
In a sense, also, now that I kind of
Like,
think
for
about
real.
it, as far as
Scientist.
it
exactly.
kind of went back to what we were talking about as far as wanting to create, but
Yeah.
at the same time,
It plays perfectly into
what
that.
we kind of create is also a way to connect with other people.
Exactly.
And that's kind of, I can kind of see why everyone is kind of leaning more towards language.
Yeah.
Because in a
Well,
sense, that's, wanting to connect with more people. That's kind of like a natural,
Yeah.
inherent thing.
And a lot of the best musicians have limitations. Like Jimi Hendrix could play the fuck out of the guitar, but if you handed him a banjo, he'd be okay.
But this Would You Rather allows you to master all, like, the best of every instrument.
Exactly. See,
Would
that's
be
where
you. You would have that possession. I picked instruments.
yeah.
And I actually picked, I would rather master every instrument because I could connect with, like, every part of the world has its own, like, instrument or music or beat, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You got different, musical influences.
I can get through most language barriers with an app or a translator now with phones, this and that. Like,
Sure.
I can survive. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Enough.
Yeah.
And the world's not so big that if you probably know at least 4 languages, you could probably skate through the world.
Well, the world's smaller than it's ever been because of the internet, because of the
Right,
technology.
so people
stuff.
know
languages
differently.
are also based in like most languages are only based in like 2 or 3 basic.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
kinda
could
what they're
I could
talking
survive.
Right.
But instruments, I actually would use mastery of instruments or music or different instruments to actually connect with more people.
Right.
Because music is its own language, so it's limitless on like a language barrier. Like
Right.
the feel of a song transcends any language.
Right.
Like it's spoken to the emotional core.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for me, I would actually use your same theory, but I use it for instruments. Plus, what is all those times where like you've seen like those great videos or great moments where you've stumbled upon somebody playing music, and then another person joins in and they're playing like they're just creating on the fly these beautiful moments. That's all just like creativity and people like playing for their soul. That would be something I would want to do because those little moments you can't recreate.
Right.
Language, like, you're going to get the same thing. People are going to say good things, they're going to say bad things, people are going to be rude, people are going to be nice. You're going to get all that the same.
Right.
I don't need to know 700 ways to order an omelet. Like,
Yes, you do.
no. You know what I'm saying?
Food is my passion.
I was like,
That's why
I don't need to know. I don't need to
That's the
know
main reason.
200 ways to say bless you when you only need one.
Right.
Or you understand that I'm saying bless you to you or, good health to you.
Right.
So for me, it's instruments because I could go further and impact more with music,
Right.
because I can connect with people.
Right.
If I know languages, then if I don't want to talk to you, I would just talk to you in another language, like, and hope you don't know it. Call it
Just
even.
start
Like,
speaking another language.
like, don't
Oh,
understand.
he don't know what they are.
He doesn't know what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
I clearly know, but I would just use that as code
English?
switching. Like, that would just be code switching to me.
Yeah. Right. That's it. Okay. That makes
So that was
dig
the
it.
would you rather.
sense.
I think
Okay.
we got time for one more topic.
Yeah. Let me see. Hold on. We
You have
should.
enough time for
Where
more?
are we on time?
I'm good.
Yeah. We got like 12 minutes, so let's make sure it's.
Okay.
We got like 10 minutes
I
actually.
think you brought this topic up.
Yeah. What you got?
If you were to, how do we want to attack this? If you were to summon all your exes
Oh. Okay.
in a room,
Mm-hmm.
and
The sunken place.
and you took them to the sunken place, all of them. Oh, and you were in the sunken place, and you were seeing all your exes in the room,
Oh.
and they were talking.
Okay.
And what central themes, like what reoccurring themes, do you think they would say about you?
All right. One question. First question.
What's the first question?
I think this
Hold on, I
will
need to-
pertain to everybody.
What's the first question?
Is this just exes, people you were in relationship with, or does this include people you had relations with as well?
Double it up.
God,
Double it down.
Jesus Christ.
Let's double down. Put
Oh
those
my
mother-
God.
You want to separate the two? Let's separate the two.
No, don't do that. No, don't do that.
Separate
No,
the
don't
two.
do that.
Can you
I think
separate
should
the two?
separate it because
My body counts so low.
you have, like, the people you're in a relationship actually know you. Wait, I'm so confused.
Did you hear what just got said? Can I say it over?
I missed it.
Can I say it over?
I said my body count's so low that I made a frowny face.
But hold on. When he said that, I didn't even look over. I just said, nobody cares about your body count.
I know, right?
Just kept going.
Cares about you
Nobody cares
and
about your body
nobody
count. Let's keep going.
It's so
All right.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
just saying that if you go by the people that you've had sex with, like, those are different types of relationships.
Okay.
So
Let's
you-
do
Okay,
the-
yeah, I like that logic.
Can
I
you do
like
two?
that
Back to
logic.
the original.
Go ahead. No,
Can
you're
you
fine,
do
you're fine.
both? Can you do both? Are you willing to do both?
Yeah.
All right, let's run both. You did it. You're on the show. Come on.
Oh.
We're running it. So,
Ask the question again.
we got 9 minutes.
We got 9
So,
minutes.
we're going to do a two-parter. All your actual people you were in relationships with, not sexual, well, it could be sexual, but you actually dated in some capacity. What would be the common, what would you think would be the common thing they would say about you? This could be good or bad. I don't care how you do it. Gary. No. Shayna. We're going to give the guests a break for a second. Shayna, what would you say?
Let's see. If the people that I dated / in relationships were all in one room, they'd probably say I'm extremely giving.
Okay.
Like I will give myself. I'm willing to try express my interests,
Mhm.
like in your interests and stuff. I'm very eager to give.
All right.
But they'd probably say at the same time,
Oh, it's getting good.
This was already good at the giving part.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm very stubborn.
Stubborn.
And
Okay.
I'm set in my ways. So if you break a certain one of my ways, I'd be like, yo, what do you do?
Oh, okay.
To a certain degree, like just petty stuff, like stuff around the house, things like that. I'm very,
Petty LaBelle.
yeah.
All right. Give you a second. You think
Extremely
about the
petty.
relation conversation in a second. We're going to come back. Do you need more time, Webb? Okay, Gary. Gary, what would you say? For those that you have dated, what would be the common thing? And I'm coming straight to you, Ebony, because Webb needs more time.
Oh, I got mine.
All right.
Okay.
You want me to go ahead? Okay.
You're on the clock.
The only
Oh, Jim.
the thing that I would say, and it might sound broad and sweeping, and it might sound a little weird, is that I think they would all say that I'm too nice, which is probably why the relationship ended in the first place.
Okay.
Because I have trouble if I'm with somebody and I'm approached by somebody else, and I'm not going to cheat per se,
Okay.
but I will not. I have a problem
Saying no.
stiff arming somebody else. You see what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying.
Okay.
That's
I get that.
probably what I could say.
You don't have to answer the sex part yet.
No, I'm trying to think if there's any other parts of that. Other I mean, I'm kind of along the same lines where not really like set in my ways, but I guess you could say I'm used to being. I'm an only child. I have an older sister, but I'm used to being by myself.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So a lot of times I like to be by myself.
I think that's where it stems
Okay.
from.
So yeah, exactly, and that makes a difference. But those two
Comfortability
things,
in your own space.
absolutely, 100%.
Miss Ebony?
They would the one that always comes to my mind whenever I'm asked this question is the emotional unavailable, which is funny because I'm a therapist, right?
Oh, yeah.
But in relationships, I'm very like if I'm with you, but I'm not a person that's going to express like how much I care about you and all those type of things. So they tend to say I'm like a robot, like I don't express my emotions very much.
You're not a robot. I get it.
Not a robot.
I get it.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, you gotta come up with one.
I know.
Just
I know,
one.
I know. I get it.
Good
I
or
get
bad?
that, I get that. No. So just to recap, the question is, if all of my exes were together and they would talk about me, what would be
Common thread.
the common thread?
Throughout.
Okay. I am stubborn.
Okay.
That's one thing that will come up. As far as another thing that will come up is, God, that's a very like looking towards just looking the introverted question as far as how that goes. I would probably see.
Y'all are more introverted.
Yeah, I am introverted, but at the same time, it's not like kind of like, well, what the fuck is wrong with me that everyone would sit there and talk about?
Oh no, I meant
sense.
that like as a panel. I think you all are more introverts. Or you
Us
all are.
two.
No, all three of you.
Oh, all three of us. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you introvert or extrovert? Introvert?
Introvert that likes to be around a lot of extroverts.
I'm an extrovert.
Exactly. Yeah, I like
Okay.
that.
Like,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off though. That
No,
was
it
my
makes
bad.
sense.
I didn't.
Well, I'm still stalling as much as I could.
All right. So
So you're saying
no, because he did the essay question.
if they was all in the
"Let me run
same
it back
room
together,
now, what temperature
What's
is
the
the
room?
room
No.
that they're in?
is it winter or
Do
summer?
they all have on shoes? Because that might, nigga, if you
They
don't
too
answer the
comfortable.
question,
You know what I'm saying?
But
so
no, it's if they were.
I mean, you're good right there.
If they were all
No, it makes
stubborn is something I can sit there and come up with.
Okay.
If that's something I see in myself.
That's good
I
to
can
know.
imagine that. I clash constantly.
Mm-hmm.
I used to clash constantly with my exes.
Mhm.
Things that and other. Also, I'd probably say maybe indecisiveness.
Okay.
Which is ironic as hell. It's like maybe I could say indecisiveness.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was like, all right, well played.
That's
good, that's good.
But no, I would.
Give him the thinking face.
If I had to look inward,
Mm-hmm.
as you know, if I were to look inward, I would probably say there would probably be some mutual conversations regarding stubbornness and some mutual conversations regarding indecisiveness. As far as where to, let me leave it at that.
We'll get to that.
Let me leave it at that.
You sound like you wanted to start it off already.
No.
All right.
No.
We're coming straight back to
I
you.
just blame that.
So for me, what I came up with was, I think most of my exes would say something about either dependable or like there. Like, actually, I would think they would say like I'm very guarded, but also like I'd never reveal the whole story of myself. Like I only give you like what I think you can handle, what you should know. So, and that could be like me first meeting you and me knowing you for 5 years into it. Like you never quite get the whole scope of me, which probably is definitely could be a problem. You don't have to do me like that. You don't have to do me like
That's
that.
that therapist.
All right.
Man, yeah.
All right. At least I was being honest. All right.
So tell me. Yeah.
But that I think that part of me happened because my philosophy was, if you don't seem to like engage me or want to know, I just won't tell you.
right.
Like it's for me, it's kind of like, what shows your interest? Are you really interested? Ask. Do you know whatever it is? I'll always answer something. But if you Okay. If you never answer anything, I mean, if you never ask anything, I never, like, there's no point in me revealing something because for me, it's like not in the flow of the moment.
Right.
So we're going to wrap up in a second. So we're going to do real quick, only one. If all of your partners were in the same room, what would be the one thing they would say? Common thing. That one I'm a little afraid to say.
Well, then you shouldn't
I'm
have
just
asked.
gonna say it. I'm probably too rough, too wild. That's probably the
I'm probably too fiery.
too cold.
Too far?
No, I'm,
I'm not a cuddler.
Wait,
I'm probably too
hold on.
fiery.
Wait.
And
So is it just the sexual part, or is it what they're saying?
she went
didn't know
sexual
it was
route.
like-
I was like, fuck it, we'll go sexual route. I don't care.
No, okay.
Look,
all right,
I'll double
all right.
down. Whatever the conversation is going to be,
All right.
I'll double
Well,
down.
we should probably wrap up.
Yeah, you probably should.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, no, that's not fair to you.
You
That's not
probably
fair to you.
should.
That's not fair to you. That's not fair to
married
you.
too, that's rude.
Quick run around. As you just said, if all your partners together,
Yeah.
it goes back to the indecisiveness in a sense.
Bing.
Go.
What you got, Evan?
To focus on them and probably not focus on my own pleasure.
True. No, that's messed up. That's not a true moment.
No, I'm better now. Don't worry about it.
Too much hope.
Too much hope?
Yeah, that it's gonna be something else.
We'll come back to that.
That's a whole topic
we
to
need
itself.
to come back to that. Yeah.
But
No, you got what's yours? What's yours? Quickly.
fire.
What?
Oh, I'm definitely too fiery.
Oh, too far. Okay.
I'm definitely like too fiery and too.
I'm trying to get this 2 minutes out.
Shut up.
We got like 2 minutes. All right, you good? Everybody good? You good? All right.
I know we just left off with me saying I'm too.
It's like about
Two
to.
all the
I
time.
can see it
Two.
blinking.
All right, wrap it up.
Ebony,
Ebony.
where can we reach?
Well, yeah, where
Yeah.
can we reach you?
Okay. Across social media, me personally at Eboni Harris, EBONI Harris MA, and then Room for Relations is everywhere. On Twitter is Room for Relations without the S because it was too long. So find me there.
Well, thank you
Or
very much.
EbonyHarris.com or roomforrelations.com.
And
Thank you very
if you
much.
need a therapist, they can come see you.
If they live in Texas, they can come
If
to
they
me.
live in Texas, if you live in
If
Texas.
they don't, they can reach out and I can find them a therapist.
Cool.
Bing, there you go.
As always, you can find us at oafdiscussions@gmail.com. If you want to drop us a line, drop us a topic. Let us know what you think of the show.
Oaf Discussions on Twitter, Oaf Discussions on Facebook.
Yep.
Web 859, K and Kid Swift, LL Cool B22,
Yep.
At Shayna NB.
at Shayna NB.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Ebony, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for coming on here with us.
We will see you guys next time. Peace.
Arrivederci.
Ciao.